Hey everyone, it's Jakov, and I'm here today with a new video for the channel, and in fact a new series for the channel. I'm quite a massive fan of Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, as well as the actual core A Song of Ice and Fire books, and due to the love of these shows and that world in general, as well as the massive uptick in popularity for the series and the world due to House of the Dragon and its success, I've been inspired to make a new series. I'm going to be looking at the different sigils of the different regions of Westeros, and then ranking them in a tier video, seeing how plausible they are, how good the designs are, and more important, how historically accurate they are, and how closely they follow the medieval rule of tincture. If you guys like this kind of idea, please like and subscribe, and stick around. I'm planning on continuing this series. That's why I've actually got the wheel decider right here, so we can spin around, check, see which region we get, and then go through all the houses and their sigils, and then rank them from there. Now, if you guys want to know about the rules of tincture, it's pretty basic, I'd say it's a fairly simple thing to understand, is that you've got two different types of colors. You've got metals and you've got colors. And metals are your white and your gold, or silver and gold. There are French terms for it, but I'm not going to be using the French terminology, the medieval terminology, because it kind of gets a bit confusing for me. And then you've got the colors, which are your basic colors like red, blue, green, etc. Black is one of them. And the way it works is you can put a metal on a color or a color on a metal, but you cannot put a metal on a metal or a color on a color. Although there are some variations and exceptions to this when it comes to the rule of tincture. It's not always 100% thing set in stone. So yeah, with that, I kind of plan on doing that for the channel. If you guys do like that, again, let me know in the comments. I really want to hear if you guys think this is a good idea or not. This video is meant to be more of a test video, just try and gauge you guys' reaction, see if you like it or not. So with all that said, we're going to click the wheel. As you can see, we've got different regions. We've got Iron Islands, we've got the Vale, we've got the Riverlands, we've got the Westerlands, we've got the Crownlands, we've got the Reach, we've got the Stormlands, we've got Dorne, and we've got the North. So we're going to spin the wheel and we're going to see which one we get. Dorne! Okay then. That's an interesting one. Give me a bit of time and I'll be back with the chart and we'll go from there. And here we are with all the houses of Dorne assembled. As it stands, these are the houses of Dorne that actually have sigils that are attached to their names. So this isn't every Dornish house, just the ones that have images. So we're going to kick it off. We're going to start with house... let's see, we'll go Ironwood. Ironwood I'm going to chuck into very legal and brilliant. They've got black on gold, or rather, a black gate on a sandish background. So yeah, that's a colour on a metal. Perfect combination, nice illegible, nice contrast between the colours. Perfect. I can't really find too many faults with it as it stands. Maybe a little bit too decorated or a little bit over the top, but still works perfectly. House Dolt, I believe these guys would fall into legal and functional in that you've got a coloured background, the purple, and then on that you've got patterns of lemons, which are yellow. Yellow is considered a metal, so metal on colour. I don't really see an issue here with it. It's legal. It's not quite as simple as House Ironwood, but it works. House Corgyle with their black scorpions on a red background. These ones go into questionable legal status in that, as far as I'm aware, I don't think you can put black and red together as a combination, just because the two colors kind of blend into one another, which make them quite illegible to understand. I don't think it's illegal. I just think it's a bad idea to combine those two. It's because of color combination. It's because that color combination in particular really doesn't lend itself to standing out on the battlefield that much. Again, personal opinion on this. I'm pretty sure that's also historical opinion too. I may be wrong, so let me know in the comments for that one. Next we have House Dane, who they go into legal and functional. Very much the same kind of deal as House Dolt. You've got a coloured background on which you have a medal, the sword and the star. Very legal, very functional. I'd say it kind of lacks the simplicity of colour combinations of what's in very legal and brilliant, but apart from that, I'd say, yeah, stands on its own toes very well. You have House Tolland, who I believe are still legal but messy, in that you've got a green dragon biting its own tail on a yellow background, so color on metal. Just because those two colors also kind of have the same issue that the black and the red have, but I don't think it's as bad. I think this is legal, but it's still quite a messy look. You've got House Jourdain with their checkerboard green pattern with a feather on it, and this one I'm pretty sure is just flat out illegal. Because while you do definitely have checkerboard patterns and all manner of patterns when it comes to different sigils, they're not meant to be the same color or variations of the same color. So, for example, light blue, dark blue, or in this case, light green, dark green. You can't do that. I think that counts as an illegal move when it comes to heraldry. So I'd have to say this one is just flat out illegal, even if it does kind of keep the core concept of a metal on a color. Yeah, illegal it is. We have House Will, who I believe these guys are illegal too. Or they're either illegal or questionable legal status, because while the black on the yellow or gold, technically, isn't an issue whatsoever, the flesh-coloured leg is, and that kind of opens it up onto whether or not flesh colours count as, if flesh counts as being a colour or a metal in this case. For that reason, I'm leaving it in questionable legal status. I know there is the rule that if an animal is depicted as what it is in nature, it's allowed to contravene the rules of heraldry, so the colour on colour, metal on metal taboo. But in this case, I'm not too sure how that counts in relation to a human and flesh colour. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it as it is. We have House Santagar, which is the best example of this actually. They go into still legal but messy because they have a leopard carrying a poleaxe on a blue and silver background. Now the thing is, while technically the leopard is yellow, so gold, and it is on a silver background, because it is a depiction of an actual animal in nature, it is allowed to be placed against a metal background, even if it is contravening the rules. So this one I'm going to put in still legal but messy because of that. Yeah. Then we've got House Ulla with their red flames on a yellow background, and these guys go straight into very legal and brilliant. It's short, simple. Almost said shimple for a second. Short, simple, and to the point, which is what matters. And it's a very clear emblem. That's all I can really say. Potentially it could blend into itself, but I don't think so, in that you often see those two colours combined and there's not an issue with it historically. So we'll leave that one as it stands. Then we have House Manwoody with their skull on a black background with a crown, and this one I'm pretty sure is just straight up illegal. So while you could have a skull on a black background and that would not breach the rules of tincture and heraldry, because it's got that golden crown, you have a medal on a medal because the skull is white, which counts as silver. That's a bit of a no-no when it comes to heraldry. So that one ends up being illegal, I'm quite certain. After that, we've got House Fowler with their blue falcon on a silver background, and that goes straight into very legal and brilliant. It could be either that or legal and functional. I find it kind of a brilliant design. Overall, it sticks to the rules perfectly. You've got a metal background, coloured emblem on the front. No issues whatsoever. You then have House, I think Gargling or Gargling, I always forget how to pronounce these guys. And these guys, I'm pretty sure, go into legal and functional. You can tell that you've got a... Oh, actually, no. Very legal and brilliant, I'd put them as. It suits the heraldry rules perfectly. Metal background, coloured front ground. We have a fantasy animal, but that's not really an issue. Many houses had stuff like that in real life, many knights and nobles. And it's carrying a black worm or snake in its mouth, which that part's a little bit questionable, because you couldn't really tell that from far away, but the overall shape of it works. So this one could either go into legal and functional or very legal and brilliant. That one I say is a matter of personal choice. After that you have House Vaith, I believe, with their 3 black leopards on a yellow, well, gold triangle on a orange background. So these guys, I believe, would be questionable legal status. I think would be the best bet for these guys, because you are putting yellow and orange together, which are 2 colors that kind of tend to merge into one another. And while they aren't like 2 colors, because it's a metal and it's a color that are so close to each other, like if that had been a red and an orange together, then I would have flat out said that's questionable. But then because it's like this, it's still also questionable. The black leopards, though, don't actually cause an issue whatsoever. So I'm going to put this one into questionable legal status. Yeah, a bit of an issue. Then we have House Illyrian. These guys, pretty sure questionable legal status too, because of their black and red combination. The gold hand on the front, though, is completely legal, but the rest of it is questionable, so that kind of has to go there. Then we have House Blackmont, I believe, and this one, ooh, this one is tricky. So the vulture on a gold background with its silver ruff around its neck, I would actually put this one as legal and functional, because like even though the ruff is silver on a gold background, it is an animal depiction, so that's kind of allowed to slide. However, the baby kind of throws it up in the air, because I don't really know if the baby like breaches the rule, because again, it's flesh color. So I'd actually have to put this one to questionable legal status too. If that can be cleared up for me, and if it turns out that is allowed, I'd probably put this one legal and functional, all things considered. But yeah, the baby kind of throws it up in the air. And then we've got the final house, and the rulers of Dorne, House Martell. And these guys are going straight into questionable legal status and also complete illegibility on the battlefield, because you would not be able to understand what the hell you were seeing if you saw this banner on the battlefield. It is yellow, red, and orange, 3 colors that absolutely merge into one another. And like, just looking at it, you can kind of understand what I mean by you wouldn't be able to tell what you were looking at from a distance. In that the red and the orange are colours that are right next to each other, and the yellow sure as hell doesn't break it up at all. Yeah, kind of a... Let's just say when it comes to Dawn and its tincture, they're very much a mixed bag. Which kind of, it's a good encapsulation of that region of Westeros in general, a mixed bag. Anyways, guys, if you've enjoyed this tincture video and all the heraldry that came with it, please make sure to give this video a like and a subscribe, and let your thoughts be known in the comments down below. Especially if I've messed up here, let me know, make it loud and clear. I want to know what you guys are thinking, so I can go from there. Also, I want you guys to let me know if you think this is a good series to continue. Make your thoughts known on that. If you guys do appear to back it, I will continue making this video in the future, or video series in the future, I should say. But let it be said that there will be more Total War videos coming for certain, far more the Dawn of Day videos, far more Last Alliance Total War videos, and perhaps even some Total War videos with mods based off of Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire, potentially coming up too. Anyways, guys, I hope you've liked it. Remember, like and subscribe. We are a tiny channel, so every little bit of support helps that much more than you think it does. That said, this is your host, Jakov, signing out.